and welcome to the Sanford Says City podcast. My name is Shiloh, and I'm a member of the Mayor's Youth Council. Our Youth Council is made of 12 students from Crooms Academy and Seminole High School, all focused on improving the wonderful city of Sanford. Today, I'm joined by Tina Kadolph to talk about human trafficking. Tina and her husband created Love Missions, an organization dedicated to ending human trafficking across the world. Tina is also the owner of the Palette Coffee Shop, which is located in downtown Sanford and uses all of its profits towards spreading awareness about human trafficking and ending it. Thank you today for joining me, Tina.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. So I just wanted, for our viewers, our listeners who don't really know, what really is human trafficking? How would you define it?
Okay, so human trafficking, the legal definition is the use of, it's modern-day slavery, which involves force, fraud, or coercion to obtain some type of labor or commercial sex act. That is the legal definition of it. Yeah. So really what it is somebody being forced to do something that they don't want to do.
Mm-hmm. And who really gets, affected? Does this happen to adults, just women?
It goes across the board, and it doesn't matter race, religion, sex, age. It's across the board.
Everybody.
Yep, it involves everybody. Our focus really, we help all people, but I especially have a heart for children. So I really am trying hard to protect our young people from being lured into trafficking.
No. What are the signs of someone who's being trafficked? How would somebody tell?
So you can notice if there's a person that has maybe an older man that has a younger girl with him, and when someone talks to her, she doesn't look, she keeps her head down and lets him do all the talking for her. Or there could be a tattoo that has like a barcode on it or a name in a really weird place. A lot of times it'll be on the neck or somewhere where people can see them because it's called branding. A trafficker will brand their property because it's not a person to them. It's property that is making money for them.
That's horrible. Why do you think that, is it really widespread in the U.S. or is it rare in our country or is it happening often?
It's happening more and more, and why we hear so much more about it, and still I don't think enough about it, but why we are hearing more about it is because of we have the internet and social media, and it's helped to bring a lot of those bad people to the surface because they've found an easy way to get a hold of, like I said, our teens. They lure them through gaming, social media, the internet. It's easy way through apps. It's an easy way for them to contact people without others knowing. It can be kind of hidden.
Yeah, it's crazy. How many people? Millions of people across the U.S.?
Across the U.S., they estimate as far as children, about 300,000 a year are trafficked, and Florida is third in the nation for the most trafficked victims.
Wow. You're in charge of Love Missions. What are you guys working? How are you fighting this issue?
So one of the main things we do is education and awareness, because that's how you can stop trafficking. So if we have a young school or a group that we're able to speak to, and we can get it across to that group what to look for, how a trafficker lures them in, the next time something happens, it's going to send up a red flag, and they may think, wait, I heard that lady come and speak and talk about this, and this could be human trafficking. So that could stop the cycle by just education and awareness. So we do that, as well as we're opening a safe house in South America for little girls ages 4 to 11. We do hygiene bags for survivors, all the necessities that they would need when they're rescued, so that they have the hygiene products plus a bag that they can use after the products are gone. And we do packing parties, and we also collect those items.
Yeah. So is that a way that people can get involved? If I'm a community member and I hear about this, besides being aware of the signs of it, how can I help?
Yes, you can come to Palette Coffee Brewery. We are always taking volunteers, and it's also a life skill that we can teach people how to be baristas. You're volunteering your time, so that's one of the ways we can give back, but you're giving back by helping the profits go to fighting human trafficking. You can collect hygiene items for us. We're always taking those items, and you could bring them and drop them off at pallet. You can come and get a group together and help us pack the bags. And we're also opening a life skills center soon in the near future, and there'll be other opportunities for people to come on board and help us.
And the Life Skills Center, who is that for?
So I actually had a meeting this morning with the director of Samaritan Village, which is one of our safe houses here locally, and she was explaining how in which I knew there's a gap from once the girls are rescued, gone through therapy, they've been in a treatment center for probably 18 months to 2 years, and now they're getting close to the end of that time, but they really don't have any life skills. The only skills they know is what they have been doing in the past. So if we don't intervene in that time, it will be really easy, even though they don't want to go back to what they know, and that's getting back with the trafficker. So we need to intervene, and that's what our hope is at Love Missions, is that we take those young ladies and we teach them whatever skill they want, like culinary, cake decorating, sewing. We have a whole list of things that they'll be able to choose from for themselves, what they would like to do for the future, and then we will be able to place them into a job.
It's like a next step for them.
It's a next step. Yeah.
You know, it's crazy to think about it. You know, we say slavery, you think it's like they're like physically keeping them back, but a lot of it's, mental, it's psychological. It's like this brainwashing.
It is.
It starts early, doesn't
yes,
it? Yes,
it's manipulation.
Yeah.
The men and women, it doesn't matter. Boys and girls are both trafficked. It's not just girls. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people think it's only girls. The higher percentage is girls, but there's also boys that are being trafficked. And it is a mind manipulation. They call him the Romeo trafficker, and so what he does is come into the girl's life and start saying all the things that she wants to hear. May buy her really nice gifts like a new phone, get her nails done, new clothes, so she starts feeling special. And once he's really convinced her that this is the love of his life and she thinks he's the love of her life, he starts pushing those boundaries by manipulation, saying, well, if you do this, it's for our future, just do this one thing, just going and stripping in a club, it's no big deal, where you're doing it to make money so we can have a good future. And as soon as he starts breaking down her moral values, he's got mind control, and he's got her where he wants her.
Yeah, that takes a long time.
It does, right? Can take a long time. It can take up to a year, but trafficking is a $32 billion industry. So a trafficker feels it's worth his time and patience because he can make up to $650,000 on one individual. So on one person, he can make $650,000. So you think about that. Most of traffickers have more than one person. So it's worth his time and patience to get her right or him right where they want him.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think of how many, you said billions of dollars?
Yes, 32 billion.
And it's weird to think about, that's in America.
Yeah.
Too. That's across,
the globe,
yeah,
yes.
The globe. I think a lot of people think about, that happens in Europe or Africa. But I think it's hard for Americans especially to go, no, these are our people. And they're not just taking them out of our country. They're just keeping them and moving them around.
Yes. And some are even, it's called in plain sight, some are even living at home and their parents don't even know that they're being trafficked. So the trafficker has them where they'll maybe not go to school or and threaten them or their family so that they do what they want them to do, but they're actually still living at home and their parents don't even know.
Man. And that's why awareness is so important, because I'm sure there's signs for every issue.
Yes.
And so if school officials, they're trained. I believe my mom's a teacher. She's been trained a little bit about it. But I think that, if we get into our school system education about this.
For sure.
We talk about child abuse or, things like that.
Yeah.
But this is a form of that. And
right.
I think that we need more education and acceptance among the society that this is an issue.
Yes, for sure.
And laws, too. Are there laws in place to prevent this? Are they enough?
We're working on legislation right now. Actually, last year I was with another couple of survivors, and we were fighting at Tallahassee to change the laws where children are being trafficked in hotels. So we were trying to get hotels accountable for that. It ended up getting shot down in the last leg of it. but we're fighting again this year. So we'll be, if you friend us on Facebook and Instagram, you'll see us posting to write your senators and to help us get these laws changed so we can protect our kids. It's most important, as we don't want people to be able to take advantage, and those who are allowing it to happen and turning a blind eye to it need to be held accountable.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of issues obviously America faces, and it's hard for the government to deal with all of them, but you think that, freedom is an essential human right, and so it's crazy to think, there's people out there advocating for it, but why isn't this a spotlight? Because, it's slavery. It's modern day slavery, so
Yes.
it's like people, I don't think,
Take it serious.
admit it, or
Yep.
like they don't want to. It's easier to ignore something than to talk about it and address it, because
Yeah.
it is ugly.
It's ugly.
Horrifying, but it's never going to get better unless we do talk about it. So
That's so true.
yeah, I think thank you so much for coming on here. Is there anything else you want to add about this?
Yeah, just go on our social media and keep up to date with what we're doing, and join us and volunteer, and you can make a difference. At Palette we say you can be the hero just by buying a cup of coffee. You're going to be a hero in someone's life. So thank you so much for having me here.
Plus, it's really good coffee. I've had it. The Palette Coffee Shop has awesome coffee, great environment, and it stops human trafficking.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tina.
Thank
and join us
you.
for the next podcast.
Thank you so much.